Blizzard has come through and showed off some of the early hero talent trees for the War Within. Now we know the names of the two Havoc Demon Hunter ones, but in today's video, I'm going to go over some speculation about what I think those trees might have and what I hope to see for the hero talents for Havoc Demon Hunter in War Within. Also, Goose is here. So first things first, you're probably wondering what the heck's a hero talent tree? Well, these are trees that were revealed at BlizzCon to be a major feature of the upcoming expansion, the War Within, and they are little extra trees that kind of go in between your spec tree and your class tree and allow you to kind of pick them. Now, we have a few here. There's like 4.5. I say 4.5 because we have like a few different nodes from 2 of the balance trees. But there's roughly 4.5 ones revealed. And generally speaking, these are less so talent trees where you pick things. At max level, you will have every single option here. There's just some choice nodes to pick between. And they're more focused on like spec fantasy themed around like who you are, what you're doing. And they're kind of like archetypes, right? So for instance, for Death Knight, there's one for Unholy and Blood. All these trees are shared between 2 different specs. Most classes have 3, druids have 4, demon hunters have 2, and they're all shared between 2. So demon hunter would have vengeance, havoc for both of them. This one, Death Knight Sandland, like a vampire thing, is for unholy and blood. See here, it's all themed around like turning your death strikes into vampiric strikes and summoning blood beasts and like, you know, having a ton of blood stuff. And there's a bunch of like throughput nodes. They're in like 25% throughput, and then some utility nodes. Like here you have, you know, you can raise that and ally, give them a shield. You can get some speed. This one gives you some like survivability. This is a throughput choice node. So generally speaking, they're pretty interesting. You get your first point at 71 to unlock your capstone. You get your last point at 80 to unlock the bottom one. We don't know if you can just rush there. I imagine you can't. But while you level in the War Within, you will end up getting all of your points here. That's just how they're going to work. You just kind of get everything. They're fully swappable at all times, like normal talent trees are. You can change between whenever you want, as long as you're out of combat. And realistically speaking, they want them to be similar, but like whatever. They also change around how you look. We've seen some stuff for Warrior. The Mountain Thane one, with a bunch of lightning everywhere. Generally speaking, they're pretty cool. Now, we don't know all of them. We know the Death Knight one for Blood and Holy. We sort of know the 2 ones for Balance. We know a little bit about Balance and Resto, and a little bit about Balance and Guardian. We know the Og and Prez one. We know the Fury and Protection Warrior one, and we know the Holy and Protection Paladin tree. They're pretty cool. I don't know how good they are yet. We'll see. It's not even alpha yet. But they also released all the names, and you can kind of see here a little bit of an overview of these things. This is just a little Wowhead page I'll link below if you guys want to see. We have the names for all the different hero talents. This is revealed at BlizzCon. You can see, like I said, they all have 3 except for Druid and Demon Hunter, who have 4 and 2. Now, Demon Hunter's 2 ones are known as the Aldrachi Revenant and Fel-Scarred. So, you know, you can kind of get the idea of some of these, right? Hunter has like Dark Ranger. Druids have stuff like Keeper of the Grove, Druid of the Claw. There's stuff like Void Weaver, Shadowpan. So a lot of like already built into archetypes within these classes or specs that have been around for a while, that you can kind of, you know, hook into. Like shamans have Farseer, which is like a super, you know, lore steeped kind of archetype for shamans. Now, Demon Hunter, we don't have a ton of lore. We do, but not like a crazy amount. And I've dove a bit to see what I can uncover about Aldrachi Revenant and Fel-Scarred, and I'm going to go over now what I think these 2 are going to be. So, like the video, comment, subscribe, and let's start off with Fel-Scarred.
The light will heal your scars. I am my scars.
So first, let's break down Fel-Scarred and what we know. I think to first start that off, we should go over like Fel magic a little bit. It's basically chaos magic. Order is kind of like arcane magic, was here on the Wikipedia page for it. And Disorder manifests as Fel. And Fel is like dark, destructive magic. The stuff all the demons use, you know, you can see this Hearthstone card here of Fel magic here. It's just all the demon stuff, right? That includes demon hunters, as we can see Illidan here. So demon hunters, warlocks, they all use Fel magic as sort of a way to kind of impose disorder and chaos on the world. Now, Fel's counterpart is arcane. It's why demon hunters have these arcane tattoos. And generally speaking, there's not really a ton about Fel-Scarred Havocs. If you look up Fel-Scarred, you get stuff like this, which is the goats. the Eridar, who are like Draenei that have given over to the Fel. You get the Fel-Scarred Marsul, which is a critter that lives in Crokun, which is on Argus, which is the... Oh man, we're doing a lore deep dive here, but Argus is the world where the Draenei are from that the Burning Legion took over. It's where the last patch of Legion took place. You get stuff like this one item, a Fel-Scarred Tombstone. So there's not a ton to go off here, right? You're like, okay, there's not really a ton here for Havoc to take over. Now, there is a few things about Demon Hunter. I don't have any pictures for them, so I might just show some, I don't know, images or something as I talk, but as you become a demon hunter, what you basically do is there's like a ritual where you kill a demon and you eat the demon's heart, and then the demon's heart kind of torments you and like really messes you up and messes with your body, and then you kind of put arcane tattoos on it. The whole thing is you have to like fight against the demon inside of you. So Fel-Scarred would imply something demonic, right? And Havoc's whole thing, well, I guess Havoc and Vengeance because they're sharing the theme, but Demon Hunter's whole thing is kind of the yin and yang between being like a human, like well, not human, but we're elves, but you know, humanoid, I guess, and a demon. So it's like that balance between giving over into the power to kind of destroy or support your allies, destroy your enemies or support your allies, or kind of fighting it to maintain your sanity, maintain who you are, and your humanity, so to speak. And I think Fel-Scarred is kind of the idea of just kind of full on leaning into that demon form stuff, that Fel energy, chaos magic, demonic powers, all that stuff is kind of the Fel idea. So if I had to think of like an archetype here, because all the things kind of have archetypes, Mountain Thanes based off of the Mountain Thanes from Warcraft 3, I think. Senlands based off of obviously like the vampires, the Blood Queens, stuff like that. We have like Lightsmiths, which is like this whole like, oh, you forge your light into like weapons and stuff. Fel-Scarred I imagine would be more so like an Illidan Stormrage, right? Somebody who's in demon form all the time, who's super in touch with Fel magic and able to control it, use kind of the scars and damage that's done to their body as a source of like damage output, and to kind of harness their power as a demon and just blast enemies with chaos damage. So kind of like the demonic side of Havoc, so to speak. So I don't know what exactly is going to be here. I don't know what the full-on abilities are going to be, but I would expect like demon form tie-ins here. I would expect stuff that works with Fel magic a lot. Obviously Fel-Scarred is there, and just really things that are like inundated with Fel magic and like death and destruction and just that chaotic energy that demons have within them. Now, I think that's one counterpart. But if we move on over to the Aldrachi Reaver, I do think this one's going to be a little bit more interesting. So now I move on over to the Aldrachi. And again, I'm here on kind of the Wowpedia page because it just has everything there. And essentially what I want to talk about for the Aldrachi is just kind of what they were. So we don't know a ton about them. You can see here the page is not very big. And all the references are pretty much from the Vengeance Demon Hunter artifact. So the Vengeance Demon Hunter artifact was the Aldrachi Warblades. Very, very powerful weapons. And essentially that's kind of what the Aldrachi were. They were an ancient race of warriors that fought the Burning Legion. They're kind of known as like big, monstrous, mighty people with incredible resilience. And they're kind of the only people to ever fight against the Burning Legion. Sargeras offered them to join him. They refused, and then they just kind of fought them. So they were like the biggest enemies to the Legion before kind of Demon Hunters were around. And there's two parts to these Aldrachis, right? There's the warriors themselves, and the warriors were kind of raised from birth to fight in combat. Everybody had to join the military, kind of very like a warrior race of people. The other one was kind of their weapons. So the Aldrachi were very known for their weapons and warblades specifically. Very coveting of weapons, very all about kind of what weapons you own. Weapons were symbols of power, and the warblades were kind of the best of those. So warblades, I'll throw up a picture of the Vengeance artifact weapon. But the Warblades are kind of the most coveted prize of any Aldrachi. Aldrachi? I think it's Aldrachi. They're kind of forged out of these crystals that they mine in their homeworld that kind of stored the souls of enemies you killed and kind of made you stronger. That's kind of how that ties into Vengeance, right? With all the demon souls, all that stuff like that. And these weapons were insane measurements of death. They kind of gave a ton of power to the Aldrachi themselves. So much so that if we scroll down here, we actually see that all the Warblades were kind of given away, so that whenever they lost to the Burning Legion, Sargeras took those Warblades and gave them out, and eventually one of them ended up in the hands of Carrier Felsoul, the Demon Hunter who Vengeance players killed to get their Legion artifact weapon. So the whole idea here is that the Aldrachi themselves are just such an insane warrior race. They turned away from Fel. Their whole thing is using like these weapons. Weapons are their whole like thing, and they use them to kind of fight against the Burning Legion, fight demons, and even Sargeras himself was the only one who actually was able to finally beat them. There's like a ton of stuff about that here. I'm not going to go into it too in depth, but essentially the Aldrachi are this warrior race, right? And what does Reaver mean? Well, Reaver means it's a Scottish and North England dialect to go on a raid. So not great, but basically like it's like an Aldrachi raider, Aldrachi warrior, right? The whole fantasy here is that you are somebody who eschews kind of the demon power, and you go out there and you're fighting the demons with this weapon. You're sucking up souls to make you stronger. So I think we're gonna have kind of a yin and yang here, right? We're gonna have Fel-Scarred, which is kind of the fiery Fel demon sort of kind of tree, and we're gonna have the Aldrachi tree, which is more so based around like weapon skills and just physical might and prowess and actually fighting demons. Both of those fit very much in a Demon Hunter lore, of course. I don't need to tell you guys that. Fel-Scarred being you fighting against your own inner demon, Aldrachi being you fighting against the demons with your like own power, being more on the humanoid side, with Fel-Scarred being more on the demonic side. And I think that, again, I'm not really sure what we're going to have, but there is one thing that I do want to come at least for the Havoc tree. I'm not sure about the Vengeance tree. That is going to be the current tier set bonus, which I'll pull up right now. So I'm here with the current tier set bonus. It's the glaive stuff. So casting Blade Dance or Death Sweep automatically throws a glaive if off cooldown, and has a 50% chance to throw an additional one for less damage. I think this is a great thing that actually makes the glaives usable. We'd never use the glaives without this. And I think this would fit really, really well with the Aldrachi, right? As I said, they're very weapons based, very all about combat and their weapon prowess, their martial prowess, fighting the Legion. And I think this would be a great place to fit that. Outside of that, I literally have no idea what these could have. The hero trees we already have are kind of wild. I never would have ever imagined these in a million years. This one like gives you like Vampiric Strike. The Druid one gives you like bonuses while your treants are up. This one just gives you a ton of like arcane, like you summon moons and stuff. Evoker's all about like time magic and like just crazy stuff with that. Like literally lightning blasts and stuff, and then this one's about like literally forging weapons, gives you an active. So there's just too many variables for me to ever actually like think about what could happen. But generally speaking, I think the themes are going to be Fel-Scarred is your demon. You're fighting against the demon inside of you. The scars, you know, I am my scars are giving you power and stuff like that. And the other side of the Aldrachi are more of the humanoid form, right? The humanoid fighting. You're just this big, well-renowned, physically strong, like martial prowess warrior. Obviously with like the souls of your enemies powering you through your war blades, and the weapons are a big deal, and you're like sucking up these demon souls in order to fight more demons and like to go toe-to-toe with Sargeras kind of thing. So one of them is more of like an Illidan type deal, the other one's more of the Aldrachi demon fighter type deal, where they're eschewing the demon to kind of just fight without it. So I don't know what they're going to do with that. Maybe they do one that like you can't enter demon form but you're so strong or something. Very interesting. We'll have to see what happens, but that's kind of going to be my speculation for today. So let me know what you think. What do you want? What do you think about these two things? Hopefully we'll know soon. I think Jedith knows something, but he wouldn't tell me. He was very coy about it, but we'll see. Anyways, that's kind of what I think might happen. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like, leave a comment, drop a sub, of course. We're getting closer to 10K, which is insane. And I just appreciate you all so much. You guys are all so amazing and wonderful. And I will see you guys next time. I don't know what we're doing next, but I'm excited for War Within, excited for the new stuff, and obviously tons of coverage as it comes out. So hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys next time. Peace. A big thank you to all my channel members. Thank you Sky Elk, Fede Gregori, Andrew Kino, Guillermo Lamas, Period, Brad Wisniak, It's Bulk, Magic Man 133, and Howley. Thank you all so much. You guys are amazing, and I really appreciate the extra support. If you guys want to support me, consider becoming a channel member below. You get access to exclusive videos and some emotes to use in comments and stuff, as well as a special part of my Discord. So thank you all so much. I really appreciate it, everybody, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.